to these facilities. Experience Technician Education.
Witness as the future begins with the Central University campus of the future on this site, the Masterson campus. The new campus symbolizes our readiness to the future as we celebrate our 100th year in 2030. Great and steadfast pledge for the city. In 2021, we received the
a parent-teacher will be distributed to you. The tutorials will be on November 2026, and the commencement exercises is tentatively scheduled on April 28 to 30. Stands for Quality Point Index. This is another way of representing general weighted average, where 4 is the highest. And here is an example of how QPI of a student is computed. There are 9 subjects in a semester. Suppose these are the subjects of the students and their respective FRP. This request must be filled within 5 working days following the release of the report cards and will be handled by the standards committee, which is composed of the strand heads and the assistant principal for academics. In addition, a change of mark may be requested either by the student or the subject teacher. This must be submitted within 10 working days after the end of the first semester. Acceptable reasons for requesting a change of mark include incorrect computation and typographical error. During the semester, a student may be placed on academic probation by the strand head if they incur 2 incomplete and or failing marks. A student under academic probation forfeits certain rights and privileges, including eligibility to hold office in any school or organization, continuing as an officer if already appointed, representing ex-USHS in any school function on or off campus, and membership in varsity teams. Academic probation may be lifted at the end of the semester if the student passes all subjects for that term and consistently reports to both the class moderator and the guidance counselor. To support students experiencing academic difficulties, the Office of the Assistant Principal for Academics organizes remedial or tutorial sessions during the school year based on teacher recommendations. Furthermore, students who incur failing marks are required to undergo inter-session or summer classes before they can be promoted to the next grade level. And here is the remedial legislation for the first semester. bit.ly/SEM1 remedial legislation 2526. Students who earn passing semestral grades in all learning areas may proceed to the next semester with a prescribed regular academic load. Promotion to grade 12 is granted only to those who successfully pass all subjects required for their strand. In grade 11, as educators, we are committed to help make our students succeed, and we implement early interventions to closely monitor our students' academic progress. These interventions include individual classes, issuance of academic warning and placement on academic probation, parent-teacher conference, and participation in pre-deliberation sessions. These measures are designed to provide timely support and ensure that students receive the guidance they need to meet the academic expectations. Each semester is divided into 2 grading periods, the midterm period and the final period. At the end of each period, an honors list is generated, namely midterm honors and final honors, based on a combination of the students' QPI, conduct, effort, and homework and or club marks. At the conclusion of the school year, the Academic Excellence Awards honors list is compiled using the students' cumulative KPI. For grade 11 students, this cumulative KPI is calculated from the semestral grades of both the first and second semesters. For grade 12 students, the cumulative KPI includes semestral grades from grade 11 through the end of grade 12, providing a comprehensive measure of academic performance across both years. The first, second, or third honors, a student must meet specific academic and behavioral criteria. For first honors, the student must have a cumulative KPI of 3.8 or above, receive outstanding or O marks in all quarterly evaluations for organization, conduct, and homeroom, and earn at least very good or VG effort marks in all subjects. KPI between 3.5 and 3.799. Maintain outstanding mark in organization, conduct, and homeroom, and also achieve at least very good or VG effort marks in all subjects. For third honors, the student must have a cumulative KPI between 3.350 and 3.499. Ensure that no quarterly marks in organization, conduct, and homeroom fall below satisfactory or S, and receive at least very good effort marks in all subjects. If a student has a cumulative KPI of 3.6, that KPI qualifies for second honors. But that student receives an effort mark of good or G in any subject, the student will be disqualified from receiving any honors. This is because the minimum required effort mark for all subjects is very good or VG. In another scenario, if a student has a KPI of 3.5, which also qualifies for second honors, but received a satisfactory or S mark in conduct, PS, the student will only be eligible for third honors. This is due to the requirement that all conduct and PS marks must be outstanding or O to qualify for second honors. Upon graduation, students are eligible to receive various awards and recognitions that honor both academic excellence and school loyalty. These include 1 valedictorian and 1 salutatorian, as well as 4 outstanding student awards, 1 for each academic strand. In addition, 8 departmental awards are given to recognize excellence in specific subject areas. Students who have studied continuously at Xavier University from kindergarten through senior high school are honored with the Loyalty Award. The school also presents non-academic awards to acknowledge contributions and achievement beyond the classroom. And students should be familiar with the school's policy on recognizing contests and competitions. Only those contests or competitions that are officially sanctioned by the school are considered valid for co-curricular performance, which may influence rankings for departmental awards, outstanding grading recognition, and the selection of valedictorian and salutatorian. If a student wishes to participate in a competition, they must notify the principal, the strongman, and the assistant principal of academics. Additionally, the official invitation from the organizing committee must be submitted to the appropriate offices for review and approval. That concludes the updates from the Office of the Assistant Principal for Academics. Thank you very much for your attention and attention.
Our Assistant Principal for Administration, Ms. Nitos E. Igong. A round of applause, please.
Good morning, dear parents, guardians, guests, and colleagues. Here are some policies and reminders related to safety, security, and health, and yes. This is the flow by President. Flow and vehicle stickers, some general policies and guidelines, and some reminders from the clinic. A dress code. While Xavier University values diversity of opinion and freedom of expression, discretion in the style of dressing is important in promoting an image that reflects the university. To facilitate safe and secure environment that is conducive to learning, and to stress the importance of maintaining a respectful and professional atmosphere inside the university, the EXU dress code should be followed. This code also is applicable to students, other members of the university community, our guests, and visitors. The university reserves the right to disallow entry of individuals who fail to observe this dress code. What you can see on screen are the acceptable and unacceptable garments. On traffic. Xavier Ateneo Basic Education Campus is 10 weeks, but due to the presence of the prefabricated buildings in the grade school or the Xavier Ateneo Sports Center, we only utilize 5 days. Week 1 is the one beside the SWD, with the one closest to our building. That's for entrance and exit. Please, a memorandum regarding vehicle pass within this month. Once this is released, we will open the application of the vehicle stickers for the basic education campus. We will be releasing drop-off, parking, and shuttle stickers depending on the evaluation by the office. The evaluation, the application form will also be relayed through MS Teams of the students. We would like also to remind our parents that the speed limit within the campus is 10 kilometers per hour. Also, we do not allow entry of vehicles driven by senior high school students. On some general policies and guidelines, because of the limited space we have at the basic education canteen, just very close to our covered courts, we allow our students to have their lunch inside their classrooms. So you can have them bring some healthy food for lunch. We also allow them to have their lunch outside after dismissal during lunchtime adult food. The entry, use, and disposal of polystyrene-based food packaging, containers, and decorative materials is also prohibited in the university. The university president issued a memo on the no plastic policy for all EXU campuses. This includes the prohibition of single-use plastic and bottles, and we encourage everyone to use medical bottles. We also encourage everyone to bring their own water bottles. Drinking fountains are strategically placed throughout the campus. Also at the campus, we practice K-Go or Clean as You Go. So we invite our dear parents and guardians to reinforce this practice wherever we go. Here are also some reminders from our clinic. In case of emergency, our nurse will contact the parent or guardian. This is done to check if a student has allergies to medicines. It is also very important if you will give us your correct contact details. If by any chance the parent or guardian cannot come to fetch the student, we ask our class moderators to accompany the student to the hospital. We also hope that you have relatives or family friends who can come on your behalf during this practice. The clinic will only provide first aid. If your child or ward have maintenance or prescription medicines, please provide for that. In cases when a medical certificate is needed, our clinic will only release that once the student has been checked by our doctor. So we don't just release any medical certificate. If your child or ward is already sick while still in their boarding house or in your homes, please do not allow them to come to school to avoid any contacts with the rest of the classmates. That's all from the AP for Admin Office. Thank you very much for listening.
Holistic development of each student. To discuss our formation policies, let us welcome our guidance coordinator, Mr. John Vincent C. Gomez. A round of applause, please.
Good morning, everyone. On behalf of our Assistant Principal for Formation, Mr. Paolo Fabigar, I will be doing the honors in presenting to you the formation policies of Xavier University Senior High School. Apostolate. When Ignatius of Loyola and his companions founded the Society of Jesus 485 years ago, their primary desire was to help others seek God and ways to ensure that the children who entrusted us are formed holistically in Ignatian tradition and Catholic identity. To achieve such an important mission, our school continues to improve our formation programs and initiatives housed in our 4 main formation offices: the Campus Ministry Office, the Guidance and Counseling Office, the Office of the Prefect of Students, and the Student Activities and Leadership Development Office. Addedly, the Formation Council houses the ETC, or the Parents and Teachers Confederated, the head moderators, the Athletics Office, and the Chaplaincy. These offices work together to ensure that we provide our students opportunities to deepen their spiritual lives through prayer, reflection, discipline, and service. We keep our students grounded as disciplined individuals who fully embrace their unique selves and gifts. We believe our school is a training ground for future leaders. To that end, we provide students with opportunities to engage in meaningful activities that will shape their worldview and hone their leadership skills. Here, we make formation truly intentional. All students are required to attend a recollection for grade 11 and a retreat for grade 12. We hope that you will not view these as mere requirements for graduation, as these programs are meant to nurture the spiritual lives of our children and instill in them the virtue of discernment. In addition, we are here, guidance counselors, who are ready to support your children through various aspects of their psycho-emotional well-being. We are here to listen and accompany them throughout their time with us. We encourage everyone to utilize the services the Guidance and Counseling Office provides. Moreover, our school serves as a training ground for future leaders. Therefore, every student is required to join at least one student organization officially recognized by the institution. These organizations are designed to cater to our students' diverse interests. Through their participation, we aim for them to embody the values of a servant leader and to be good followers as well. Students also receive an organization training that reflects their level of involvement in their respective clubs. Furthermore, our prefect of students ensures both the observance of the code of discipline and the maintenance of order within the school. They are always at the forefront of our programs and activities, creating a vibrant and inclusive environment for our academic and formation initiatives to flourish. And finally, our students are entrusted to the loving care of their homeroom moderators. A homeroom is not a group of students in school. It's a community where the values we aim to nurture truly take root. Our moderators are always at the forefront of our formation efforts. They teach, they accompany, and they model. Above all, they care. We kindly request, dear parents, that you always keep in touch with your children's class moderators for any concerns you may have. As a community of coordinators, we can only do so much. We acknowledge our personal and collective limitations, but we believe that you, our dear parents, will complete our work of coordination. We acknowledge that with your support and participation, our apostolates will go far. Therefore, let me encourage you to be fully involved in your children's formation here at St. Hugh University Senior High School. Attend meetings and conferences, family days, parents' formation sessions. Respond and attend to the concerns of your children's teachers, counselors, and parents. Formation is a continuous process. It doesn't happen overnight. Yet with you as our partners, we are hopeful that the seeds we sow will bear fruit in God's time. For any matter that you wish to relate to us, please do not hesitate to reach us through this email. That will be all. Thank you so much.
Mr. Eric Jose S. Rodinas. A round of applause, please.
Welcome you all to Xavier Ateneo. Welcome also to this new semester, new school year, 2025-2026. The Office of the Prefect of Students oversees the enforcement of rules, regulations, and other policies in the school. It monitors student attendance and maintains direct contact with you on matters related to student discipline and teacher concerns. We receive, validate excuse letters, receive complaints for investigation, we conduct preliminary investigations for student violations, prepare and distribute conduct marks per semester, and attend to requests for certificates of good moral character. I think we've also relatively introduced now that the office is manned by your schoolie, Mr. Rodinas, as the prefect, and supported by our assistants, Ms. Marias, Estela B. Sanchez, for the academic, and Mr. Paulo or Galupo for the Algeciras Technical Vocational Class. We are also supported by Mr. Joseph Escobia, our secretary. If you have not received any text message from us, it means we do not have an accurate information about your mobile number. We highly recommend that you provide us with an authentic and updated mobile number and email so that we can communicate with you directly. Please fill up the form found in the QR code on screen or follow the link as mentioned. Rest assured, this will be distributed in confidence to the offices of the principal, assistant principals, and the prefect of students to be used for sending official communications through text or email. Now, the school shall not be held liable for any failure of communication due to erroneous or falsified contact information provided by the student for the parent in the SPGIS. Notification via SMS is deemed sufficient once it is sent. Is kindly access confirmation of receipt to be attached in the excuse letter. Now, a copy of the excuse letter will stay with us, the other will be returned to you, and the student, once the excuse letter is validated, the student is required or obliged to reproduce enough of those validated excuse letters for each of the subjects that he missed, and it will give it to every teacher of the subjects concerned. Approval for foreseen absences must be requested also for foreseen cases. Should be written addressed to the assistant principal for academics. Approval should be copy furnished to the PS and the subject teachers concerned. Morning classes run from 8 a.m. to 12:30, and afternoon classes run from 2 to 5 p.m. as Sir Jeff mentioned. Students are asked to go home after that. However, students may stay in the campus until 6 p.m. in the afternoon for group huddles or board activities. The use of cell phones and other gadgets is not allowed during class hours, and other school functions unless granted permission by the teacher. They must be kept on silent mode so as not to disrupt the general flow. The same applies to other equipment, sports equipment, audio equipment, kitchenware, other items brought in campus. The students are required to take notes while in the class sessions, and the use of mobile phones or any gadget to capture photos, videos, of PowerPoint presentations are forbidden. If the student is caught using cell phones or other gadgets without permission, the teacher will confiscate this and forward this to the prefect of students, and only the parent or guardian can reclaim this during the quarterly parent-teachers conference. An S mark or satisfactory mark, regularly report and visit the PS office and the guidance counselor, not to commit any major offense during the learning lesson, and regular community service. Strong disciplinary information is recommended by the PS or the disciplinary committee and approved by the principal when the student accumulates another unsatisfactory conduct mark from the PS within the rest of the school year, or when the student commits a major offense that warrants suspension. He forfeits the following rights and privileges for the duration: eligibility for office, discharge of duties as an officer, engagement in a major role in an organization, representing XU in a conference or competition, on or off. Contact us at the PS office. We will make the necessary arrangements. Now, walk-in appointments will have to be cleared with our office. However, please understand that walk-in appointments may not be possible right away due to conflict of schedule on the part of the teacher. While waiting for the 2025 student handbook to arrive this year, please consider accessing the 2024 version to be currently found on screen or the bit.ly link also. There will only be little revisions to the 2025 handbook. We pray you can help us in guiding and reminding your children to follow these guidelines. You may contact us at 853-9800, local 9774 or 9775, or email shsprefect@xu.edu.ph. That will be all for the preferred students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sir Edmund. Please.
Good morning, everyone. These are the matters that you might want to consider. I want to talk about, kita na siya sa XP website, so the PH, and the finance section. So, for example, the next slide, tuition and other fees. They know the accident with the PH. Under submission, kita and finance, and finance, and overall finance. To say, we'll see the all those concerns on finance related. For example, the student investigated tuition and school fees. The next slide. So there are columns for strands. Let's take example for STEM. So tuition, matriculation, laboratory, and others. So there are 4 components in our school juice. And for example, grade 11, grade 12, and grade 9. Then there's also cash discount. The 4% discount on tuition, matriculation, and laboratory. So we have other fees. And it will take full, if you pay full one. So basically the permit the exam. So these are the installments that we require before giving the exams. So at this point there are issues like before the exam, the finance office will send a notice in the students' house. And ang makikita sila talaga ng accounts of their concerns of parents na not being informed eh, wala pa sa kanila eh.
Good morning, Xavier Ateneo Senior High School community, especially to our
dear parents and guardians. It is my honor to introduce someone who has long been a partner of our school and committed parent leader. Our PTC President, Mr. Ryan Albert Ignacio B. Sanchez, is currently serving as a Tourism Operations Officer, Researcher, and Technical Writer at the Department of Tourism Region 10. Before becoming our PTC President, he actively served in the board as Secretary during the school year 2020-2021 and Vice President last school year. Let us give a warm welcome to Mr. Ryan Sanchez as he shares his message and PTC update with us today.
Our dear Basic Education Vice President, Dr. Pam Mahente, our Principal, Senior High School, Dr. Roger, EP Principal, our University Chaplain, Dr. Herman, EP Principals, Direct Pam for the Testing Department heads and the PSO office, and to all parents, faculty, and staff, maayong buntag kaninyong tanan, mabuhay. The SUSHS PTC is a auxiliary partner of Xavier University Ateneo Senior High School that promotes the holistic, inclusive, and productive relationship among the senior high school community. The main thrust of our federation is to design programs, relevant programs rather, aligned with the collective mission and vision of the entire Xavier Ateneo community. So I will share with you the updates, what we did last year and what we are planning for this year for the PTC term 2025. I will also introduce to you the members of the board also who are present here, si Sir Wilmer Asombrado, the PTC Secretary. Sir, please. PTC Treasurer, si Ms. Janmari Bautista. So we will makita na ito later no after sa ating homeroom officers. So as you as PTC updates, please. So last year was a very fruitful year for us because we implemented activities, more activities. Previous year, we have the family wash party. It's a dog streaming together with our students and some parents. We also have the annual Imaman. On November 16, 2024, the Pet Fun Run that was also held on February 22, 2025, and the Family Day, which was held 2 days, March 1 and 2. Next please. So the Family Wash Party was an annual fundraising event that we reserved together with the affiliate office from Atanao Cafedo. We were able to raise funds from it. And it happened on October 2024. Then the next activity was the Himamat. It's an annual gathering of all PTC officers together with the moderators, faculty, and non-teaching staff joined together here sa Covered Court, and we had a meaningful fellowship together, which happened on November 16, 2024 too. The next was the Freedom Fun Run or the Pet Fun Run that was joined by almost all of our students and some active parents. Ngunit isa sa mga pinakalibo na mga activity last year because it was also the first time that we held a fun run outside the Xavier Ateneo campus together with our furry family. So ang mga hero, may mga iring, may mga hero, aking nananagan. Ako yung pag-ialsa na lang, may mga tinandan. So i-move tayo siyang activity. And lastly, the Family Fun Day or Fun Fair, which happened 2 times, March 1 and 2. And this was also meaningful for us and nakatapog and nakahimaman po tanan. Not only our students together with their family, our partners, and one in 2 meaningful events na nagsunod siya Saturday and Saturday. So this year, it's most likely to be productive because it's more fun-filled and centered on 3 values. Number 1, strengthening parent-teacher relationship. We're looking forward to a more stronger relationship among all the Xavier Ateneo Senior High School community through deepening community engagement. As all we know, as an Ignatian school, as a Catholic school, we have that sense of deeper connectivity also with our community. And lastly, partnership for progress. We are trying to put up long-term goals and objectives for sustainability and for, resiliency in the next years to come. So akong labong pasalamat na makita kamo, and I'm looking forward to meet you all presidents later during our meeting. Okay, for this year, the XUSHS family, the whole community itself is trying to forge a strong harmony within us. Lakong salamat, ayong adlaw sa iyong tanan, mabuhay.
So, mami, balik ka, closing remarks naman ito.
Right side. Right side. Sige, taas ba kayo?
Third floor na ni. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning.
Your contact number. Hiring, so biology is not my forte. And that's why I transferred to senior high. There's an opening in teaching physics. So this is my grade here. Good morning. Kindly sign in here, sir, first. Attendance, certificate, for your name, family name. Yes. Forward na. Picture lang.
Ma'am, ako na, ma'am, babe.
Hi,
You join.
I-ready lang sa
Picture taking na sa mga officers.
Girl power,
Congratulations.
Very later we will have a last picture. Last picture tayo. So now we proceed to recap of academic policies. We have questions from Urals. Intramurals, that's Xavier Days. Yeah, that's the final exam. Then second sem will start January. The schedule for second semester exam again, midterms, Feb 3 to 5. Then Feb 28, that's our another PPC. Then March 24 to 25, final exam. And finally, commencement exercise follows on April 28 to 30.
just a reminder, dear parents over here, during the exam, in case you are going to pay through online ng mga bank, be sure to pay ahead of time. Dili siya on the day. Dahil ito man, dili siya automatic ano sa finance, send no. So it should be maybe still send your
3 days before the
very
exam.
important kay common is ang student. Online payment.
Even if every Monday naman dito.
Monday and Tuesday, if you will pay at XU Finance, automatically you can receive your dito exam. Online or yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. Else? The schedule of your sons and daughters. It's important to know their schedule. So, our classes here, we have MWF and PTA. Sorry, Monday and Thursday, then Tuesday and Friday. That's the pairing. And they're going to meet each subject by 1 hour and 30 minutes. Unlike in junior high. In here, 1 hour and 30 minutes. And we do not have recess time. But we have canteen stations on the floor. But there's lemon pie. And they can eat inside the classroom as well. Since the canteen is there, so Monday and Friday, their subjects for our time here starts at 9. And then morning assembly, and their first period is English, same with Thursday. And then that's 9:30 to 11. Then 11 to 12:30, live lab, meaning all of them are required to go to the library. I do not know which of the two is the required one. Okay, nakuha nila live lab is Monday and Thursday. So one of these is the required for them to go to the library. The other one, they will just stay here inside the classroom. They can use that period to do practices or make assignments, but they're here. That is during Monday and Thursday. Then in the afternoon, classes will start at 2 p.m. 2 p.m. to 3:30, that's their Math 101, similar. Then 3:30 to 5, that's the last period of psychology, Psych 101. So notice, there is no recess time. And then Tuesday and Friday. First period is MIL. Then second period, that is NSC, that's NACSI. And then third period, PE. PE is only a 1 hour session, unlike other subjects. It's 1.5. For PE, only 1 period. So meaning they still have 30 minutes here as their free time. Usually they use that for their lunch time. Then they'll be here back at 2 p.m. Then in the afternoon, their chemistry subject, that is 10:03. That's Tuesday and Friday. Then last period is their RS, that is equivalent to question exam or religion subject. On Wednesday is our formation day. So notice that there are no subjects here, except for in the morning. There's only one subject in the morning, that's Filipino. After Filipino, that's our homeroom period. I'll be here during homework period. The rest of the day, that's their student activities time. So like academics, that's the academics. Yes, that's their formation. Meaning, monitor the grading system of the sons and daughters. There are 3 compositions of their grades. You have the written works, PT, you're familiar with PT, right? And their quarterly assessment. Quarterly assessment, that's the midterm and finals. Written works, what are these? So under written works, we have quizzes, assignments, post-tests, or long tests. So they will be summed up all. Just get the sum, that's their written works, and then get the percentage. Then for PT, there will be mini tasks or scaffolds, so it depends on the sessions be correct. Here. PT as well as the quarterly assessment, it's different. Like for example, for core subjects, it's only 25%, but the PT is 50%. And quarterly assessment is 25%. For the applied subjects, core subjects, as well as the quarterly assessment. The percentage is also high. And then for specialized subjects, similar with the applied subjects, they have the same percentage. For institutional, like Christian humanism, the same with applied, specialized. And for immersion, this is applied for grade 12 only. Immersion. Okay, PPL, that's not part of STEM students. Our school, we use the QTI, Quality Point Index. Your sons and daughters know already how to calculate the QTI. If you want to know how to calculate, you have here the link. That's the link. If you want to check their grade, if it's really correct. So you can also compute their grade using that link. Then in terms of their effort mark, so what is our basis of their effort mark? This is more on the submission of their assignments, making their seat work, and that's the basis. No? Also, doing their PT, how do they participate in making their PT? So highest grade here is 5, and then you have the letter grade equivalent, then it's research. This is what I mentioned, how to grade their effort mark. And finally, another grade, we have the contact mark, or this is the PS mark. So PS mark, meaning it is the PS will give them this mark. This is in terms of their APCs, attendance, community service, whether they have the merits, they're able to get the merits there, that affects their contact mark. And the one who gives this is our PS. So highest grade is outstanding. Okay, notice for outstanding, has committed none to 2 minor offenses and has not incurred any major offense. Then satisfactory, committed 3 to 4 minor offenses and has not incurred any major offense. Then P, that's 4, meaning the student committed 5 minor offenses and has not incurred any major. But if your son or daughter gets a U mark, it means that he or she committed 4 violations, that's 6 minor offenses, or any of the major offenses stated in the school. So maybe within this semester, you will receive the student handbook. It's good also for parents to read. That is also your guide. To read the student handbook. So it's me to review the SMART. Basis for this, live reply slips on the parents, their morning assembly, if they're present there or absent, that's my basis. So grading, we have outstanding, satisfactory, poor. So also this is under rubric for the mark. Another mark is from the board. So all students here must be a member of an organization. Hindi pwedeng student na walay board. All of them must have a board. Like last year, I have a student who did not join any board, so he got a new mark. So that is why I thought you really have to join any board that you want. That is why then we join after. This is a must. The grading system of the organization, and this will be given by, if you remember, Ma'am Chesa Pablo, the SG, is the head. She is the one leading the mark. And here's the rubric in leading the mark. For honors and awards. So first semester, midterm honors and final honors. This will be given in a classroom during homework. Midterm and finals. Second semester, the same. The annual awards will be given by next school year, but they will be in grades level. Classroom and so you have here the basis on how to basis in getting the first honors. So first honors, KPI is very high. That's 3.8 because the highest is 4. The KPI is 3.8 and above. And conduct mark must all be outstanding in all. Effort marks should be very good. For second honors, the PPI is 3.5 and above, but lower than 3.8. Then, for the conduct, homeroom, and organization marks, it should all be outstanding. And for the effort mark, at least very good. And finally, for the third, a PPI of 3.35. Or above, but lower than 3.5. Then, for the conduct, homeroom, and or mark, it should be S in or conduct and homeroom, meaning not U. At least very good in the effort. For the absences, take note of these parents, the first two. Daily recordings per subject, meaning their attendance are checked per subject. So if they have 9 subjects, so attendance will be checked 9 times. And then they're only allowed, we have 8 unexcused absences per subject. Cut off. Beyond that, they will be given an AM. That is failure due to absence. If they miss 8 unexcused absences in that particular subject, then they will receive an AM. The other one, 15 absences, excused or unexcused per semester. Make note, the other one is per subject, then the next is per semester, 15 for dropout. So meaning the student will be dropped if he or she incurred 15 absences in a semester. So in my case, I usually contact the parents kung ano may mga absences, automatic why is she absent for ano man, para we'll be aware it's not here. Then in case he or she is absent, automatic please make an excuse letter. Get your child, bring that excuse letter to be recorded in the PS. Always. And sometimes not bringing the excuse letter would still mark your son or daughter as absent. It's our policy. They really have to bring the excuse letter right after their absence. So a student is required to have this letter signed by his parent or guardian. Address to the PS stating the reasons for the absence immediately upon returning to school. This is what I mentioned. Then the letter shall also include guardian's contact information for the student or PS decide to verify the letter. So meaning, if you're going to put your mobile number there, then the PS will really have to call you, whether it's true or not. Because, especially kanina mga age, sila mag-apply. There are times that they put numbers when the PS calls that particular number is unreachable. So, kung saan ang number na ito. So, that is why I asked for your number. Kaya para ma-check na kung what is the one. There are times, sinanaan students, we know already in advance, approval of which should be copy furnished to the PS office and the subject teacher is concerned. Which means here that, let's say, common diba na may mga days na, let's say, holidays for 5 days. So parents will buy ticket for, let's say, mga promo fairs, and we have a vacation, a particular